everything, I wanted to give you a sense of how you could continue to prep. This prep took about 2 hours for me because I was filming, but I don't anticipate that it would actually take 4 hours or 2 hours for you. It would probably take more like an hour, and that includes the planning piece and the shopping and then the chopping. But what I want to do now is show you how to make a salad jar so that you could make these salad jars for as many lunches as you might need for the week. And I'll make one for Brian for the week so that you can see how I've done it. And super simple, you could do it early in the week, and then once you do it early in the week, you literally just open your refrigerator, grab and go. These are all ready to go. They don't get soggy because of the way that we set them up. So let's get started. So to get started with the salad jar, you'll need a ball jar, and I would recommend the wide mouth ball jars, and I believe these ones are like 2.5 cups or so. So you need one of these. You'll need your dressing that you've made. You'll need a tablespoon measure because that's used for the dressing. And I like to use a 1 cup measure for the carbs. What you also will need are some sort of complex carb. I like to either use roasted sweet potatoes or brown rice, but you could use a different kind of carb if you want as well. Those just seem to be the healthiest and the most filling. And then any of your prepared veggies, and then at the end you'll also be adding some sort of spinach. I prefer this organic baby spinach from Whole Foods. It's the freshest, it lasts the longest in the refrigerator, and you could use any green you want. I just happen to really like spinach because it packs a pretty good nutritional bang for the buck. So first thing you'll want to do is take your salad jar and open it up. Make sure it's clean, and you'll see that it is nice glass and pretty tall, and I like this wide mouth. So next what I want to do is just shake up the salad dressing. And for my husband, he gets 2 tablespoons of dressing. When I make this for myself, I only make it with 1 tablespoon of dressing. So you'll go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of your homemade dressing into the bottom of this jar. The reason we put it at the bottom is that it's a lot easier to keep everything else from getting really soggy, which means then you can make this early on and make it a much more viable option for grab and go. So then what you want to do is try to think about what should you put next. So what I try to do is put the carb next. This is where my 1 cup measure comes in handy. So I'll take the carb, this time it's the sweet potato that we just cooked, and I'll just measure out a cup of the carb, and then I'll just add it. And if you were to add this with some sort of protein, I would recommend putting the protein first, then the carb, but because Brian will have a protein as part of his meal somewhere else that we've cooked earlier in the past week, so it'll be a leftover, we're going to go ahead and start with the carb itself. Then it's very simple, we'll just pick any one of these veggies. So he requested Brussels sprouts, so I just like to take a handful. It's not necessary to measure this out, but what you want to start doing is start seeing how there are these layers. So these have layers, and unfortunately they're a little bit still warm, so you want to make sure that everything is cool first. And then I think to add some color diversity, we'll just add a few of these tomatoes. And make sure that when you're adding your vegetables, I like to add maybe 2 or 3 different kinds of vegetables. Here we've added 2 vegetables and a complex carb. We want to make sure to leave room for some lettuce at the top. And you want at least a cup of that lettuce. So what we need to do is just take your lettuce here, put it into the salad jar, and stuff it, because what happens is lettuce takes up a lot of room, of air room, and when you stuff it, you'll end up getting more lettuce. So what we have here now is a nicely constructed, protein-free, like I said before, he has protein that he's going to be eating elsewhere, and a salad jar that now has these different layers. So we have the dressing, the carb, the veggies, and the lettuce.